figure it out. Oh, yeah, what you guys know?
Let's see if I'm on. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay. Welcome everyone after full
A year and 2 months off.
year. I'm Kyle,
I'm Keith.
and we're no longer the two idiots who don't know nothing. We're now the
Two horror freaks.
two horror freaks. Oh man,
Been a year.
it's been
2 months since we've done this.
It's been a year and 2 months, and I don't know how I feel about this.
Right?
I really don't. We always, no matter what, we went live no matter what.
Yeah.
But then our lives just got a little bit busier.
It got a lot busier.
A lot busier. So the reason why we rebranded was we got to talking and we were running out of ideas.
We ran out of a lot of ideas.
We were trying to go big, but being so small.
Yeah.
Like a little spectrum, and we were trying to be like a skyscraper.
We were a tiny little fish in a big fucking pond.
Yes.
That's what we were.
Yes, we were.
Now we're trying to be a big fish in a little pond.
But now we're rebranded because we feel like we're more knowledgeable.
Well, it wasn't even just more knowledgeable on the two subjects of paranormal and horror. It was a lot of our listeners. It was a lot of you guys.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you guys paid more attention to our horror-themed episodes and our paranormal investigation episodes. So it's like, you know what? We have a lot more experience with these two topics.
And we work for a haunted house.
Yes, we work for a haunted house.
We go to sleep with scary movies.
All the time.
We go to sleep with serial killer documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
Why not go horror?
Right? It's like, why not do something we know that we actually have knowledge in?
Why don't we talk about everything horror? Like movies, books,
Real life.
real life, music, and also paranormal.
Yep.
And paranormal is a wide spectrum.
Yes, it is.
A wide spectrum. But also, we're more knowledgeable in horror than we are everything else.
Yeah.
Everybody loved when I went on my rants.
And now that we're no longer family oriented and we're mainly for adult listeners, viewer discretion is advised. Kyle?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Kyle, just say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Just say it, damn it.
No, because fuck that, that's why.
There it is. There's Kyle for fucking the episode.
But we're gonna try to stick with everything horror for all of our listeners that love the paranormal. We're gonna try to stick with this, and we're gonna try to go live as much as possible, because not only is Keith, and it's now Facebook
Yeah.
worthy, he's the assistant,
Yeah, I'm the offensive assistant for the Iowa Nighthawks football team this year.
and I'm a father of a baseball player and a soccer player, and my schedule is going to be a little hectic from the end of March all the way up until about July or August.
Mm-hmm.
So sit back, relax. We will be on our Facebook, which goes into our social medias.
Yes.
We have Facebook. Go and find us, Two Horror Freaks.
Yes.
Instagram. Go find us, Two Horror Freaks.
X.
X,
Two
formerly
Horror
known
Freaks.
as Twitter, Two Horror Freaks. Go find us.
TikTok.
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 TikTok. Go find us. We're gonna be the same name on all of our socials.
Yep. Two horror freaks. Just
Two
like
Horror
this here.
Freaks. And then we also have a Discord. If you have Discord, we're also the Two Horror Freaks on Discord.
Yes, I'll
we'll
actually.
post up our link up on our Facebook and all of our socials so everybody knows.
Yep. I'll make sure channels are available. We'll have up to, I'd say, 12 different channels on our Discord. So if you want to be on Discord with us, we'll send a link up on our Facebook page and we'll get everybody in there so everybody can jaw it up. So
Our producer and our director is having a little bit of fun in our chat.
Yeah, I know this. I've noticed.
Heath doesn't like to fall asleep to horror movies. He likes to fall asleep
Bullshit.
to My Little Pony, My Little Pony.
Okay, Chucky.
And my son behind the scenes is giving me a look because that was his theme song for Mother's Day during tournament by our producer. And everybody, from there on, his nickname that season was My Little Pony. And every single time he'd go up to bat, no matter what his theme song was, it would everybody, even on the base, they would be saying, yelling and chanting My Little Pony. And it was actually quite hilarious because all of us coaches got to laugh at it, you know. And the other songs didn't stick though to the other baseball players, which was pretty funny. It was just Daniel, and it was the greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever. Now, our topic for today is ghosts, spirits, and demons.
Yes.
I really wanted to put oh my, but that's too close to
What
lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Right? Copyrights.
Copyright infringement. So we're going to go ghosts, spirits, and demons.
As it states in the title of our episode,
Yep.
Ghosts, Demons, Spirits, and the Rebrand.
And the rebrand.
Yes.
So, ghosts, spirits, and demons. Everybody's like, aren't they the same? Yes and no.
And we're going to dive into it. So, Kyle, why don't you go ahead and tell us what the difference is between a ghost and a spirit, to start off.
So, in ancient times, they were the same. But my belief, you can look this up, it doesn't matter, you can believe what you want to believe, but my belief, ghosts are well known, well seen creatures, almost, I want to say. But a ghost is literally someone that didn't fulfill what they needed to fulfill when they were living.
Exactly.
So either a ghost can fulfill, oh, hey, our producer just sent us 3 bits, thank you.
Thanks,
But
Hannah.
ghosts are figures that you can see.
They're entities.
They're entities, I should say. A spirit is known to either do harm or do good to people, to the living, well after their death.
And most times, ghosts actually don't know that they've passed on.
Yes, and they need help.
Yes, they need help in order to go to the other side.
Yes.
On whatever they believe,
Yes.
where they go after they die. They need help getting to that point.
Yes.
Where spirits, they know they're dead.
They know they're dead,
They're just here to have fun.
and they don't give a flying fuck.
Hell no, they don't.
They don't give a flying fuck. Demons,
Demons are,
they're
their own little monster.
They are. And, you know, we'll dive into that a little bit later on.
Yeah, later into the topic.
But let's start with ghosts here.
Go for it, Kyle.
Now, let's dive into our history here. Thanks to our lovely producer who's sitting off to my right here. Did a little research for us. In the Mesopotamia era is when ghosts were actually believed in.
Yep.
There was transcripts and writing and art on the wall, on walls, okay? And there was also instructions of how to get rid of the ghosts, believe it or not.
Yep.
In my mind, I think it's just cavemen saying, you know, because, you know, that's just, you know, it just, I believe they thought it was fire. You just threw the fire at them, you know, because they discovered fire.
Well, you do look like a goddamn caveman.
I mean,
I can't say much. I'm pretty buzzed with myself. So
I, on one hand, got rid of my long hair, so now I'm short hair. What? No, I'm not going to show my head. No, I'm not going to show my head because then you can see how well I've aged. I'm not doing that.
yeah, I'm trying to hide your bald spot.
No, I don't have a bald spot. Thank God I didn't get that.
Unlike our beautiful director, Doug, behind the camera.
Fuck you too. But Mesopotamia era, that's when it believed it started. That's where ghosts were starting to come out. But we didn't have that scientific.
Show the head.
Hey, show the head. Okay, fine, I'll show the head. My hair is a little ridiculous. I don't like my hair right now. I need to go in and get it cut. I need to go in and get it cut. But there was art. And historians always discover these arts in different caves,
Yep.
different areas like rocks, structures underneath. And I don't know how it was made because it's always red. It's never black. It's always red.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it was like clay, almost, or blood, if you will.
I'm assuming it was blood.
It could have been
I'm
blood.
assuming.
I could, assumptions. That's all we can assume. But there was transcripts of how to get rid of the ghosts, and that's how it all originated for the ghost stories. Now, fast forward into ancient Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts were frightening creatures that could work for good or evil. Again, that goes into the quest almost to fulfill whatever they needed to fulfill.
Yep.
Okay? So, and also in ancient Rome, people believed that ghosts could be used to get revenge on enemies. That's the harm. So they believed they could capture these ghosts, they could send them out, and they could cause mayhem over a city so they can win it and take over that city. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Spirits.
of course. Now, in my belief, nowadays, we see it. You see it on Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures,
Twin Paranormal.
huh?
Twin Paranormal.
Twin Paranormal. Any paranormal show or video,
Mhm.
you can go on the YouTubes,
Yep.
and you can literally type in ghost, spirits, and demons in this. A whole bunch of videos will pop up. You can put in paranormal, and a whole bunch of paranormal posts will pop up with paranormal investigators
Yep.
actually doing things. And we have technology now that maps out the figure of the ghost.
Yes, it is.
I love it. I love ghosts. And everybody
You love
knows how
ghosts.
much I love ghosts because I have I'm a part of a team that
Mhm.
investigates Iowa in the haunted areas of Iowa.
Good old high.
Haunted Iowa investigators.
Mhm.
Oh man, I need to talk to Julie because Edinburgh is calling my name still.
Yeah.
Still calling my name.
I said, trust me, Squirrel Cage has been calling my name lately. Squirrel Cage Joe.
Squirrel Cage Jail. So that one kind of ticks me off because someone has to be there from the
Mhm.
city council, so you don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
I always say, let the investigators do what they need to do, trust them, and everything will be fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're not there to destroy nothing. There are some teams out there that will destroy, and then they'll pay for the damages. I don't believe in that shit.
Mhm.
If you're there to investigate, you respect everything.
Yep.
Especially coming from me, where I love history. I love to dig deep into history.
Mhm.
Everybody that knows me knows that I love history. I even have a mug that says, "Don't make me repeat myself." History.
Mhm.
I love it. You know, because we learn so much from history. Don't fuck with history.
Yeah,
Don't mess up an actual building like Edinburgh. Okay,
Mhm.
Edinburgh is still standing, still in its original state. Literally from documents in the 1900s, in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Still on the floor in filing cabinets. It's pretty cool, and all the fans, the blades are dipped down. It's pretty cool. It's wonderful, actually. It's wonderful. Do you
Yeah.
have any ghosts? I know Keith's house is very.
Dude, my house is haunted.
I love it. House vibrates when I walk in.
Oh, dude. Anytime Kyle walks into my house, it is a whole different ballgame.
It's a different atmosphere.
Completely. Like, I do recall one night that
I pissed it off.
you pissed it off so bad it completely took your energy, and it took 3 of us to carry your ass out of the house.
Yeah.
And then I got pissed off, and I went back in, which was a mistake. And I lost my vision for
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, but don't do it alone. Like I always state, don't do it
Yeah,
alone.
yeah. You always take a battle buddy with you.
Yeah, especially.
Always take a battle.
Now, here's the thing.
It's just
Thank
the
you,
IT
Tyler.
guy, the director, and the producer in the chat right now.
Thank you, Tyler. My hair is blowing in the wind because we're on the 12th floor, and
What
you
are
should be
they
up
talking about?
Oh
you?
wow! Damn. Okay. Damn.
Well, there's a big first fuck you, Kyle, of the day.
It is. But also, in ancient times, ghosts and spirits were actually the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, in ancient Egypt, people believed spirits could assist and harm the living after death.
Yep.
Just like ghosts in ancient Rome, in ancient Greece. Okay? Ancient cultures believed that spirits could haunt the living if they were improperly buried, died alone, or had unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, that's where the ghosts and spirits come in as one.
Yep.
Okay? Now, people still do believe that if you improperly bury someone, their spirit will haunt you for the rest of their life. Okay?
Yep.
You see it in movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Someone kills someone and then improperly buries them in the woods somewhere.
Yep.
It's a shallow grave, right? They don't have the respect to actually bury them. And it's believed that these spirits can come back and haunt you until you dig up their body and actually give it a proper burial.
Yep.
Burial.
Either haunt you or haunt the place where their body was laid.
Exactly. Which, nowadays, with all the killings that go around, I'm surprised this world's not as haunted as it is. But I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, let's dive into the unforgivable with the demons,
Well,
shall we?
I don't want to jump the gun here because
Well, it's time to jump the gun on this one.
I could spend hours on this topic because
I said we've had our experiences with demons.
you have, I haven't. Well, I have one time. One time.
Yeah, so we've had our experiences with demons.
That's true.
I still live
Now-
with one.
Now, here's the thing, though. I'm kind of fighting a battle here.
Right.
Okay? Because at one point we told our viewers we're not going to dive into religious beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
but with this topic we have to dive into it.
Yes.
So,
It's a good thing I put into the disclaimer. Viewer discretion is
your
advised.
discretion is
I
advised.
think we need to put that in at every beginning of every episode.
Yes. Now, I'm about to expel a demon here soon. Now, demon. Okay? Where does that word originate? Do you know?
Why don't you tell them?
No, I'm asking. Do you know what the word demon originated
Honestly,
from?
I can't. I don't know. To be honest with you.
It's a Greek word. Daimon. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Since we're lazy and we don't like to say that word, it's now demon instead of daemon. Okay? Now, why would that come from Greece? Why would that come from the Greek people, Keith?
That's a good point. Silence. I couldn't tell you on that one. My brain's not functioning yet.
You haven't heard everything I've been saying here?
Oh, I have.
In Greece, they were frightening creatures that could work for harm or good. So the demons, or the ghosts, were basically the same, even though they're a little bit different.
Yep, there's always similarities.
There's
major
always
differences.
similarities. Okay. Now the ideal of demons originated from the Chaldeans, and they would spread to other ancient cultures. Okay. Christianity, demons are believed to be fallen angels.
Yep.
Take it how you will. Okay. Because I'm going to dive in to daemons and Christianity demons. Okay?
Go for it.
Now, the Chaldeans are thought to have the originated idea of the demons.
Mhm.
Okay? But the I'm going to pronounce them wrong. But the Pythagoreans and the Theals introduced demons to Greece. And that's how the word daemon came from Greek. See how history's fun? Because you have ancient times, very ancient times, going into nowadays ancient times, okay? Now, going further into it, Plato, everyone knows who Plato is, okay? Do you know who Plato is? Do you? Do you know who Plato is?
What?
Talking to everybody off camera here. Do you know who Plato is?
No.
Do you know who Plato is? Do you know who Plato is? Keith enlighten everybody who Plato was.
If I remember, Plato was a astronomer at one point.
Astronomer and a historian back in his time. He further developed the idea of demons. Okay? Now, everyone knows nowadays that everybody thinks a demon is there to terrorize and take over someone's body and bring destruction into the world nowadays. And that's because of the Christianity belief. Christianity, the fallen angel part comes from Lucifer. Lucifer was an angel, right? And he tried to overthrow God, and God created hell and cast him into hell. And all the angels that followed Lucifer went to hell with him, okay? But in ancient times, demons were giants. They weren't small. They weren't like a black speck that's mentioned in the Bible several times, okay? Now, everyone's saying, Kyle, why are you quoting all that? Because I grew up in that religion. Okay? So, how can these tiny little dots explained in the Bible that are demons, okay, be giants? How could they?
That's a good point.
You know? I myself believe that giants were real at some point in time. Okay? Because we all know our director, Doug, is a giant. Okay? So I'm thinking, because you're just tall, okay? I believe that people were a lot shorter, and the very tall people were the giants. And they thought they had demons in them because they were so tall. That's what I believe.
That's a good point, because tallest man in the world up until the early 1900s was only like mid 6 foot.
Yeah.
He
I'm
wasn't
6'3". I'm 6'3".
Yeah, so Kyle was about the height of the world's tallest man prior to the 1900s.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe people believe that tall people had demons in them.
It's very possible.
You never know. You never know. But here's the thing with ghost spirits and demons. I believe that ghosts are good. Ghosts just need to fulfill whatever their destiny is. You know, like Mulan. You know? But you need to help them fulfill whatever they need to fulfill so that way they can go to the light. Okay? Now, I'm going to get off subject here because I love the light. Okay?
Go,
what if
Kyle.
the light at the end of the tunnel really isn't a heaven, hell, or blank space, or paradise, as you will. It's you going into your next life. That's what I believe in. Because you have kids nowadays that say, talk about their former life and how they had a family, how many kids they had. They remember what they were wearing when they died. They remember their house so well.
And there's a lot of times that most people believe that, because everybody has a birthmark.
Yep.
There's some people that believe that your birthmark is a part of how you died in your past life. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a little bit of that belief. Because, don't get me wrong, my birthmark is visible right here on my left arm. So it's like, who's to say I didn't either get shot in the left arm, or I had my left arm amputated, or something within that area.
Yeah.
And then you have the ones that have the birthmark on their ass.
That's
$1 million wound.
I have a people keep telling me I have a birthmark on the back of my neck, but I've never seen it. I've never seen a birthmark on me. I don't know. Have you seen a birthmark on me, honey?
Huh?
Have you seen a birthmark on me? No? Okay. See? Boom. Right there. Is no birthmark meaning that you're starting a new life?
You're starting a new life, or you could have just died of natural causes.
Could have died of natural causes. Who knows?
Because if you die of natural causes,
You never
who
know.
knows?
You never know.
There could be no physical birthmark. If you really think about it.
But I just believe ghosts are a matter of needing to fulfill something. Now, I'm not saying that a demon or a spirit can be acting like a ghost. I'm not saying that at all. Because it could mimic. There are mimics out there.
Oh, yeah.
There is mimics out there.
And that's going to be a whole different other ball game with a whole different podcast episode. Just mimics.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that is a whole different ballgame. But spirits, I do believe, could be used for good or harm. I mean, let's look at the Egyptians here. Pharaohs.
Yep, pharaohs. Pharaohs
Okay.
are good ones.
Pharaohs, what were they buried with?
Gold, prized possessions.
And clay soldiers.
Yep, and clay soldiers for guardians.
Just, you know, if they needed the spirit of this pharaoh to help fight a battle, those spirits and those clay spirits would come alive, and the pharaoh would win, help him win, and then their destiny would be fulfilled.
Because if you think about it, when the Egyptians, like Egyptian pharaohs and queens, were buried, what were some of the most known things they were buried with? It's gold. Because in order to go on into the next life, they wanted to be rich. A boat, they were always buried with a boat of some sort, or a chariot. Travel into the next life.
Yep.
Whether they were traveling by land or they were traveling up, what they always said was, because Egypt was right off the Nile River, to float up the Nile. Clay soldiers, as their guardians, their backup.
Yep.
They're soldiers.
They're there to protect the pharaoh for anybody that's trying to harm them.
Exactly.
Now, I will touch base on the other thing that the Egyptians used to believe in. They used to mummify him. But the people that were, how do I want to say, proven guilty about something, they would cut the tongue off of the person while they're still alive. I should mention. Sometimes they'd bury people alive. They'd just cut off their tongue so they couldn't speak. Even into their afterlife, they couldn't speak. That's what the Egyptians thought. This was also carried out in other ancient times. In different places. Okay? Now, nowadays, people are just buried in a coffin. Or the Vikings believed in burning the boat as they traveled down the ocean.
Put them out in the open sea.
I think that's the best burial ever.
Hell yeah.
And I kind of want that. Or you have, who was the first man to land on the moon? Neil Armstrong. His coffin is literally in the Atlantic. He had a soldier's burial where they pushed him off of a boat and he landed in the water. Okay?
Burial at sea is what they call it.
Burial at sea. That's the highest honor.
Yes, it is.
That's the highest honor nowadays to get that. You know?
Especially if you're in the Navy.
Exactly. Or the Air Force.
Well, it's mostly Navy because if you die and you're on a ship, they can't necessarily get you back home. Especially if you're like on a battleship or something like that. You ain't got a carrier with you. So what do? You just put them in a box. Off to sea you go.
Exactly. I wonder if that's how pirates were.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's because ghosts and spirits were well known in pirates.
Yes, they were.
Oh man, that's another subject. Oh man, is that another subject? We can dive deep into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're only halfway through the episode.
Doug says cremation is my only chance to have a hot body.
Of course, they're right.
I've always said if I die, I want to be cremated, but I wanted to be stuffed with fireworks so I could go off with a bang one last time. But that's just me. That's just me. Okay? Now, demons. I believe, because of how I grew up, they are evil. And I think nowadays, demons are evil.
I feel like they have, because last time we actually did a hunt together at my house, which was what, about 2 years ago? Roughly about 2 years ago.
Roughly about 2 years.
Yeah, we were doing a hunt down in my basement, and next morning I woke up and I had 3 scratch marks going from my left shoulder right to the center of my chest. And they were very visible. And at that time, I didn't have my dogs with me. They were across the street. And me, I tend to sleep on my stomach.
Now, people are probably thinking, why 3 scratches? What's the significance on 3 scratches?
What's the significance of 3 when it comes to demons?
They're mocking the Holy Trinity.
Yes.
Again, Christianity. Okay? Now, I had it somewhere jotted down in my notes. that demons weren't always bad, but if you think about it, every case, even in ancient times, they were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad. There always are. Some people believe, especially in Poltergeist, the movie, that demons could come out of the TV screen and haunt you for the rest of your life, especially on the really scary movies like Insidious is one of them. People believe that ghosts or spirits or whatever they're trying to conjure can come out of the TV set. People believe that, especially the Christianity people. They believe that. That's why there's no horror in their house.
Yep.
You know, I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I was
Bring on.
Bring it. Bring it.
I got my holy water. Okay. Now
I got my sage.
demons are mostly, I want to say mostly Catholic, to be honest. Because who are the ones that expel the demons?
Catholic priest.
Catholic priests of the hierarchy. Okay? They have to go to school for it.
Yep.
They have to have what's called demonology. And that's an actual thing.
I was actually going to study demonology when I was in college, but I decided to go to criminology, which also leads up to our next episode, which we will talk about later in the episode.
Yes. But demons, in my belief, are bad. You can do your own lookup. You can do your own history. You can look it up, and
they can discuss their thoughts and their beliefs in the Discord, which we'll put it on our Facebook later.
Or they can go on our Facebook and do that, or they can just type on here. It doesn't matter. If you listen to us later, go onto our Facebook and type it in. And you can actually post up to our wall what you think a demon is, what a ghost is, what a spirit is. But in my belief, I think demons are very, very bad. I think they really are the fallen angels.
Yep.
Okay? But what is your idea of a demon? Give us a pictorial image of what you think a demon is.
Well, it really could be anything to me.
Because if you remember right, in Christianity, demons are fallen angels because of Lucifer. What if it's just an angel?
Very well could be.
Because people always say angel of death, but they never know if it's a good angel or a bad angel.
Yep.
It could be just an angel.
But the big thing is, if you know you have a demonic entity around you, what's the biggest thing you look for or listen for?
The different voices.
You can listen for different voices, glowing red eyes, or hoof prints.
Hoof prints.
Hoof prints me and Kyle have both experienced, especially in my house.
I've heard it in Edinburgh. That was a scary event.
Because the last time we hunted at my house, and with you guys at Edinburgh, we were actually down in my basement again, the same hunt. And it was me, Kyle, and Doug down in the basement by ourselves. Nobody else was in the house. It was just us three there that night. And we heard what sounded like really, really heavy footsteps on the floor above, which is the main floor. Main floor has hardwood floors in the dining room. And we were directly below the dining room. And it sounded like hoof prints. And just about the time we heard that, we heard 3 knocks coming from the door that led to the garage down in the basement with us. Another big thing with demons, 3 knocks.
It's always 3s with demons.
Yes, always 3s.
Because in the Christianity world, the Holy Trinity was the Father, the God, and the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
Okay? So they always mock it by doing 3s. It's always the 3. So if you hear 3 distinct knocks and there's no one else present, call someone that knows demonology. Look it up so you can get rid of that ASAP, because they're known to take over bodies.
Very much so.
You know, and but here's the other part. People always say spirits take over bodies too. Are they mistaking a spirit for a demon?
I mean, it's very possible.
Could they mistake a demon? Could you mistake a demon? Possibly. Because demon can mimic things, especially little kids.
Yep.
If you hear a little kid and there's no little kids around you, run.
It's a mimic. Run.
You know, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to get into it without getting into a religious topic. which I don't know how our viewers are going to feel about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot Anna and Hannah were that night that we were doing that, huh? Oh, another thing. I know you agree with me on this. Me and Kyle, we don't fuck with Ouija boards.
Oh, hell yeah.
We will not touch them.
Hell yeah.
We don't like them in the same room. Not like we will. You can't even get us 10 foot within, like in between us and a Ouija board. We will not do it.
Unless we're playing pool.
Yeah, unless we're playing pool, then we really don't have a choice, and that's here to
Because
on.
the Slaughterhouse Haunted House attraction has a bar called The Haunt.
Mm-hmm.
Come see us on Fridays and Saturday nights.
Yeah, from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m.
From
6 p.m. to 1 a.m. But
It's like a haunted speakeasy almost.
yes,
Which, by the way, it really is haunted.
yes, it is.
It really is haunted.
But there are certain people that love playing with Ouija boards, and that's if you're one of those people, that's all you.
That's all you.
That's
Do
all
you.
you.
Boo.
Yeah,
Do you, boo. But fuck that shit.
We won't touch them.
I believe that the Ouija board can open up a portal
Yes.
to hell if you believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Or to a darker side.
or to a darker side, darker force, if you will.
Yes. And
Dark side.
there is one specific demon that I will not say his name. And
I'm
it starts
intrigued.
it starts with a Z.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I refuse to say this damn name.
yeah,
Simply because just saying the name can summon him.
yeah.
With or without a Ouija board.
Yep.
And he is the most demonic entity
As we know.
as we know.
As we know.
There could be more. But he is very vicious. And he has been known with his, how do I want to put it, his presence wherever he was summoned at. Either mass killings, buildings have burned.
Unexplained plagues.
Yes. Like, I watched one YouTube video a couple weeks ago, and a couple kids, I'd say like 18, 19, 20 kids to us, were playing with a Ouija board inside a cemetery.
You done fucked up, hey Ron.
You done fucked up. And the name came across the Ouija board. As soon as they seen the name pop up, and it just kept going faster. It just kept going faster because the name is only 4 letters long, but it's repeating letters.
Yeah.
From the first 2 letters, it repeats. And it just started going back and forth between those letters. They took off, and they kept the camera right next to the Ouija board. There was something chasing. Like, they had a camera sitting, watching the Ouija board directly, and each one of them had a camera in their hands. It shot to the camera that was on the Ouija board itself, and the Ouija board caught itself on fire.
Yep.
How can you catch something on fire?
That's known for playing the game.
Yeah, that's known for playing a game in the middle of a cemetery when you're sitting on grass.
Seriously, don't look up the name.
Don't do it.
Don't look up the name. Don't mess with the
don't be
Ouija
stupid.
board. Please, we're telling you this to enlighten you, so you don't.
Yep.
I've caught it to where back in high school, I was over at a house and there was people
Yep.
playing and messing with it, and shit got weird. I mean, and it looked like the place was going dark, and I said, fuck this shit, I'm out. And I literally walked out of the house, and I felt an entire weight shed off my back.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you don't play with. It's something that I will say regularly. Don't do it in my presence. I don't even want to know if you do it.
Yep.
Okay? Now, there are believed to be some warlocks, some witches. You have wizards.
Yep.
You have whatever you want to be called that will fuck with that shit, but they know what they're doing.
Yes, they do it.
They've done
smart.
it long a life. They've had a long life of doing this and growing up with it. They know how to do it.
Yep.
They know how to do it. And there's rituals and seances for different things.
Yes.
And you don't know what you're going to be conjuring. It could be a ghost. It could be a spirit. It could be a demon. You never know. It could be Lucifer himself. You don't know.
Yep.
So please, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. If you know you have one in your house and your kids have been playing with it, please, I beg of you, please get rid of it.
Yes.
And the only way to get rid of it is to catch it on, is to set itself on fire and throw it in a garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I know how to get rid of a Ouija board. And if anything's attached to it, I've seen it where someone burns a Ouija board and the Ouija board goes, and it's back to brand new.
Yep.
I've seen it happen. And it's like, why would you mess with that stuff? Why would people, especially Harbro?
Yes.
Harbro is a good culprit of this.
Yep. 'Cause
They
Ouija boards.
brand it as a board game. It's not a board game. It's nothing to have fun with. I don't care if you believe in it or don't believe in it. You can conjure some serious shit with it.
Yes. And going back to the specific demon, like, I'll talk about him. I won't say his name. But if you are playing with the Ouija board and those letters come up, even if it's just the first two,
Say goodbye and get your hands off.
Say goodbye. Get your hands off that planchette.
Don't just take your hands off because shit gets weird.
Say goodbye first. Doesn't matter if it wants to say goodbye or not. Goodbye.
I'm just...
And then don't ever play with that Ouija board there in that spot.
That's just
if
a
you play
fair
with it.
warning. Fair warning.
Yes, fair warning.
Okay. But as a closure for this episode, please do your own research. Please know the history, the origins, know what you're doing before you fuck with anything. Just because you hear it on TV, just because you hear it from other people that have experienced this shit, don't think you can do it. Please don't think you can do it. Because you will get hurt and something will affect you. There's a thing here in Iowa City. It's called the Black Angel.
Yep.
You touch it, either yourself or a family member or someone you know dies within the next 3 days.
Yep.
That shit is real.
And
There's a bench in Iowa that if you sit in it, you or a loved one passes away.
Yep. And you know what the funny part about it is? The Black Angel in Iowa City. I lived 2 blocks away from the damn thing when I was going to college at the University of Iowa. 2 blocks away from the Black Angel.
Do your research. Know what something is before you fuck with it.
Yes.
Please. As a closure. Now that's off my chest. Next.
9 minutes.
Okay. Now, with us sticking with horror,
Next episode's gonna be fun.
I just want to say it's going to be on serial killers, and we'll dive deep into the topic of serial killers.
And this is where my criminology degree comes in.
So you'll be hearing more of Keith than me.
Because with criminology, everybody's like, oh, what? That's just criminal justice. No, it's not. Criminology is the study of the criminal mind. So this is where serial killers and criminology go hand in hand, because you learn what makes a serial killer tick. You learn what causes
Them to flip almost
Yes.
a 180, literally.
go from being almost a civil human
to an
to
ugly
being
creature.
a complete and utter monster to the world.
Yeah.
Such as Ted Bundy,
Oh, buddy.
Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy,
Yup.
or one that was just officially announced that the case is officially closed, Jack the fucking Ripper.
Jack, you motherfucker. As a barber? Really? Really?
Those are just some of the serial killers we will be covering in the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shit ton. There are going to be millions.
And if you see me laughing or giggling on this, don't be alarmed. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a killer. Okay? I just like the topic.
You're just weird.
I'm just weird like that. That's how I'm wired. Okay? I will say this. The well-known serial killers, most of them were Geminis for their zodiac.
Yes, they were. That's another killer right there, the Zodiac Killer.
What am I?
Yeah.
I'm a Gemini. I can't help it.
Dumb ass.
I can't help it. I love the topic. I love reading about it. I love watching the documentaries. I fall asleep like a baby. And right there, scientists say, you're a psychopath. And I say, fuck you. I'm not. Okay? I'm a well-known human being. Okay? And I'm a good person.
What, tickle you pink and call you a reindeer?
Yeah.
Doug's face. What the fuck?
All right. So we'll see you on The next time we do our podcast, I'm hoping it's next weekend, but you never know.
Doug said serial killer in the making.
Serial killer in the making right
well,
there.
I mean, technically, if you think about it, our biggest characters are somewhat serial killers with the cannibalistic background. If you think about it.
If you think about it, yeah.
So technically, all of us that work here at the Two Horror Freaks are quote unquote invisible
Mm-hmm.
serial killers. So, but it is just us in the making. But that's just characters. So.
But us as characters in Slaughterhouse, everyone is related somehow, way, shape, or form. Okay?
Keep it in the family.
Incest is the best. My character is about to marry my niece at the Slaughterhouse, but in real life, we're not related in any way, shape, or form. We're not Alabama. You know. But I'm going to end with that. We love you. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Hopefully, we'll talk about it with our schedules. Stay freaky and live in the horror.